So last year, I was looking for a PlayStation 5, but I ended up settling for a PlayStation 4 because I couldn't find any. And when I bought that console, I also bought 2 games for it, one of which being Spider-Man PS4, the other one was Miles Morales. So what I'm trying to say here is that I have no experience with the Uncharted franchise. Because of that, when the trailers for this movie released, I kinda just saw it as a fun popcorn movie with Tom Holland in it. And it just so happened that on the day the film released, I kinda felt like seeing a popcorn movie. And on that front, Uncharted did not disappoint. I understand the issues with it not being accurate to the game, and I don't expect anyone else to share this opinion. But my inexperience with this franchise made me enjoy this movie more, and you know what? I'm happy about it. The story of this film is pretty simple. So Tom Holland has a brother, right? And he does adventure stuff, but then one day he gets lost and Tom Holland is like doing bartender stuff, but then one day this guy who Tom Holland's brother used to work with comes and is like, okay, I need you to help me find gold, okay? This movie's story is not revolutionary, but it serves its purpose by getting the characters off on an adventure and also creating some spicy, salty drama for later in the story. One of my bigger gripes with the film is that the villains are kind of lackluster, as they don't really have an emotional connection to the characters. Okay, that's a lie. One of the villains is the ex of Mark Wahlberg's character Sully, but at the time we meet that villain, Sully is still a relatively new character in the story, so it really doesn't work because we just met Sully, so we're not that connected to him. And the other villains are kind of just goons, or they flip-flop between good and evil. Alrighty then, I guess that segues into talking about the characters because they are really important as they are really the backbone of the film. This film heavily relies on the dynamic between the characters just as much as it focuses on the adventure storyline. First up, we have Nathan Drake, played by Tom Holland, who it kind of felt like he was phoning it in a little. He did great with the character's snarky and sarcastic moments, but when it came to the emotional scenes, it really didn't feel like he was putting enough effort into them. And if you've seen Spider-Man No Way Home, then you know he does the emotional scenes very, very well. It's just a shame that he didn't put enough effort in here. On the other hand, I feel like Mark Wahlberg gets his character down perfectly. Like Holland, he does the action scenes well, but unlike him, he also does great with the emotional scenes. Those two are really the only standout actors from this film worth mentioning, and the other performances were pretty generic. Yes, even Puss in Boots himself. But where this film really shines is in the locations and action sequences. From bars to auction houses to underground tunnels to resort hotels, this film's locations are really incredible. And in that regard, this film definitely feels like a video game. You know what? They should make a video game out of this movie. And the action sequences are just as great. They're creative and imaginative while also having high stakes. And really, that is the standout of the film for sure. And that's really all I have to say for the film itself, but I really would like to mention something else. I fully expect people's biggest issue with this film to be that it doesn't represent the games well and it doesn't live up to their expectations. And although that is a valid complaint, I would like to give some advice, and that is to formulate realistic expectations for these movies. If you're looking at the trailer for a film and it doesn't look like it meets your expectations, don't expect it to do a full 180 on you. Try and get that disappointment out of the way early so you can judge the film based on what it is as opposed to what it isn't. I went into this film with the expectation that it would be a fun popcorn movie, and because of that, I feel like I enjoyed it more than some other people will. In the words of another recent Tom Holland movie, expect disappointment and you won't be disappointed. That being said, I'm gonna have to give Uncharted a 6 out of 10. It may not have a lot of substance, but it is a fun blockbuster movie with some great action scenes. I'm still probably not gonna play the games though.